Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for October 28th, 29th, and 30th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if you're new to the channel, or if you just want to bypass and cross-watch, then down there under the description is a timestamp, because this is the introduction and it's on all the videos. So if you want to bypass, go straight to whatever the video is you want, the part of the video you want, go down there, okay? Okay. Now, you know that this is the weekend, and I want to thank everyone. I am starting to feel better. I'm starting to actually have more energy, which is wonderful. I will be getting on soon. I've been reading the comments, but I haven't been able to answer the comments just yet. I go to answer the comments and say, oh, I think I need a little nap. Sorry, so I'm still napping during the day. Whatever this is, it's not horrible. It just makes you want to sleep. So don't worry about any of this. Carve out some time should this happen where you can get some rest. Chicken noodle soup or chicken soup, wonderful, wonderful recovery tool. Anyway, this is the weekend, so I am going to be using my Radley Valentine deck, my Angel Tarot cards. For the main reading, I will use my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. I will use my Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue, the Angels of Abundance, and of course I'll pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, because this is the introduction, I am going to be using my Waite Rider Tarot deck, and I'll pull about 3 cards from there, and then I will pull one from my Colleen Barrett Reed, The Good Tarot. I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. Just remember, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest, okay? Okay. Now, just kind of going over what's the weird stuff going on in the world. You know, we are in Scorpio season. As of today, we are having that new moon. It was a partial solar eclipse, which actually gives a really big jump start to whatever's going to be happening right now. And then in 2 weeks later, we are going to have that full moon, and it's going to be a Taurus full moon, and it will be a total lunar eclipse. Now, normally that's not so bad, but we are in the, and I shouldn't say so bad, we are in the Taurus. Taurus is in the northern node and Scorpio is in the southern node. Scorpio has this, Scorpio in the southern node brings about a lot of karmic past, okay? While Taurus in that northern node is about building a future. But we are in the karmic past. We are dealing with some things that maybe we didn't deal with right, or maybe we were just not aware of. And remember too, and I know you have to look at this whole big thing, and it gets very, very overwhelming. You know, I talk about Saturn, illusion versus reality, and so many things that we haven't really looked at that's the reality of our world. Then we have something that just went on, or I talked about the full moon, and that's going to have some Uranus type of influences, really, really strong Uranus type, to the point people have said that, when I just do my research, a lot of this is what I get from my feelings and from my research per se, or how I interpret what I'm getting from research. But they're saying that there's going to be so much of this. It's going to be very structured, very strictured. It's just going to be very boxed in type of energy, especially around that full moon. So, so that in itself, very, very tight. And again, I'm always talking about that good old Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is, okay, basically we have we have Jupiter that has been retrograding, and it is retrograding from Aries into Pisces. Now, I'd said it wasn't necessarily going slow, but it is starting to go slow, because around November, I'm not sure, November 20th or something, it starts to go direct again. So this goes back into that it's starting to go direct, retrograde stationary. And this is where things start to look at, I'm always thinking the stationary part is where the energies are really concentrating on whatever needs to happen now. Okay, so it is doing that. But then we also have on the 29th Mercury entering Scorpio. So again, news, news, electronics, hearing things, just fast acting, almost like not being able to hold on to your hat. Remember, it's like hold on to your hat, where, things are about to get shaky now, or things are about to move fast. That's what's going to be happening more with Mercury in Scorpio. And remember, Scorpio to me does not like secrets. Scorpio also has that transformation type of energy, such as Pluto has, the rising of the Phoenix. But another interesting part, though, is October 30th. Mars is going retrograde. So what's interesting about that is we're coming to the end of a retrograde season. Okay, I think that even Neptune goes direct, I think, in early December. So we're coming to this towards the end, where it should be tapering off the retrogrades, and now we have a new retrograde that is going into place. So those are little oddities. Another little oddity. So what does it mean? It just means that things are happening that we are not used to seeing happening. And again, it's like all of this planetary movement wants to really shake things up more and more and more. Now, the other interesting thing that's kind of lovely for us, though, is I did post, I think it was more on Facebook. I'm sorry, not feeling as well. I did not post it on our community chat, here. But I posted this thing with Venus. Venus goes through this cycle. It's a 1-year cycle, but then it does it 8 years in a row. And when it does this, and if you look at the computer simulation of it all, it turns into this beautiful flower pentagram, very loving, just very beautiful to behold. Now, for the last 90 plus years, this petal journey, and like I said, it does it every 8 years. Each petal starts and has been ending in Scorpio. This time around, it is doing it in Libra. So it will be doing this for a good another 90 to 100 years, where it starts in Libra season and then it ends in Libra season. And like I said, it does this for an 8-year cycle until it comes to the beginning again, and it creates something quite beautiful. It really, really is a beautiful thing. So let's see what we have here. Venus is in Scorpio. We are in Scorpio. The new moon is in Scorpio. We do have, like I said, Mercury is entering into Scorpio, and Mars in Gemini is going retrograde at 9:26 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And, that's Mars. Now, I do associate Mars with Aries because Mars is Aries. Aries is Mars. Greek, Roman mythology, whatever you want to say. But Mars is also very strongly connected with that recycle, that death, birth type of energy of Scorpio. So I just feel like these 2 weeks, there's just a lot of interesting stuff, and just be prepared for an interesting ride. The other thing, though, is not to worry about any of it. Not to worry about any of it. These are things that happen, and we just continue. Whatever is going on in the world, in the universe, no matter how, it can feel very, very stressful, and I do get stressed too, but I still have to live my life, okay? And I still work to keep my vibrations high, because that's part of our job, is to keep our vibrations high. Lots of activity happening this coming weekend, coming and going. We have the 8 of rods, 8 of fire. Lots of activity happening. Again, not knowing if we're coming or going. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Passionate, very burning, very determined energy. 8, unlimited opportunities and possibilities. Things happening that we're not necessarily, like I said, things happening that we're not necessarily in the best control of. But it's not horrible energy. It's not out of control energy. They are, but again, we don't know if it's coming or going. Okay, let's see what else we might have here. Remember, rods, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, burning, passionate, determined. Next card up, the World. So this is reverse. So the reversed energy has, to me, it's a little stronger energy. Other people read reverse cards differently. I just say, hey, pay attention. So we have a 21, we have a 2. 2 is choices, decisions. We have a 1, new beginning. The World is basically things are completed, things are done, things are happening, but you've done what you needed to do. Now, could it just be that there's a lot of, could we just read it very simply that there's a lot of activity going on in the world? We don't know if we're coming or going. Definitely we can do that. But the World does give a very good vibration that says, again, not to worry, not to stress. These are things that have to happen. They have to happen in order for a lot of that, a lot of what I was just saying in the heavens to be completed. Okay, next card is, now we have that 7. We have that 7. 7 is a divine number to me. It is a divine number. It gives me a divine umbrella. It says that even if things are happening you don't like, it is happening for a reason, and there is a divine covering. Okay, now we have a Sword energy. Sword energy is our air energy. It is our Aquarius, our Gemini, and our Libra energy. So, basically, Aquarius and Gemini have a lot going on in the game right now. They're, Gemini, Mars, by going retro, is going to be covering a lot of old ground. And like I said, whenever things, and it's retro stationary right now. So it's kind of watching and seeing, what do I need to do? But as it goes retro and it starts to pick up a little more movement, it goes and really looks at what was left undone. So, what else needs to be cleaned up? Now, we do see this guy. This does have a kind of that 5 of Sword energy where he's kind of has that sneaky snake energy. So Swords is about making plans, thinking things through. It is about basically, like I said, hearing news too. But it's all about, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. But so, like I said, there is that sneaky snake type of stuff. But the 7 of Swords, to me, is giving me a trickster energy right here. It's kind of like, look over there, don't look over here. So let me divert your attention. I'm kind of like, while you're thinking everything's all nice over here, I'm making way, and I'm taking the 5 swords over here. So there is a sneaky snake energy here, but there's also a trickster energy. So be aware of your environment. Be aware of, like I said, this has to do with making plans, but it's also hearing news. It's also strategy. So again, it's, does it concern the world? It could. The world, though, does give us that energy that says, not to worry so much, but lots happening. Look over here. Don't look over there. There's a trickster energy. There's a diversion energy, and it surrounds the world. So let's see what we've got going on here. Let's see. For this energy, for this going on. Higher power. Now remember, if I didn't say this, I am an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power, Holy Spirit, God, whoever that is that you say. I say God, Holy Spirit, and just say whatever you want, whatever this is your channel, not mine. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. Higher power. What else is there about this weekend? Interesting times. As always, interesting times. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, how lovely is this? Okay, so again, reversed. We have drawn the Tower card. So this is a 16, this is a 1, new beginning, 10, transitional energy. 6 is the number of man. It's the energy you put into something. 1 plus 6, though, is a 7. So it is divinely covered. It is divinely guided. It is the Tower card. It is where everything feels like it's falling apart and falling down. But again, it's one of these times that it has to do this. Now, there is also a very big cleansing with this falling. There is this there's a sense of, whatever this is that's falling apart, it is getting rid of the things that we don't need anymore. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy energy. It doesn't mean that it's easy to get through. We have to maintain, we just have to keep our eyes, on this world card. We have to remember things will turn around. Things will, everything goes full circle energy. But the Tower card is not necessarily a pleasant card to go through. But in order for something to be, to be rebuilt, or I shouldn't say rebuilt, in order for something to be built, it needs solid ground. I do get this energy with this, though. I am picking up a lot of the gray energy here, but I do have that blue sparkles, not sparkles, but the blue kind of shining through also. But the gray energy is not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily a positive, but it's something that has to be done in order for things to be moving on. Okay? Interesting stuff. Can't really tell you, we will see what we will see. Please take a moment. I know being off that one time, it messes up the algorithm so much. So I would really appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe, click on the bell, comment. If you've done all of that, undo it and do it again. I get a lot of people telling me that, my videos just don't pop up. I do put them in playlists, and I also get a lot of people telling me that there's missing videos. And I know I really don't post anything until I have all the videos ready to go. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. I'm a small channel, and that would just help a lot. Anyway, why don't we get started with our videos now? Hello, my Virgos, and how are you? Well, this, the eclipse season does not seem to be really, it's not saying it's an easy season for anybody per se, because this is solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, and we're Scorpio, and there's a lot of pushing and pulling type of energy with this too. But it just feels, for my Virgos, I kind of just feel like you're in a flux. You're in a flux. You're in a choices, decisions. Do I want this? Do I not? How do I prepare for the future? How do I take care of my past? I feel like you're a little bit like watching everything, saying things are changing. Where do I go from here? And yet at the same time, there's choices. But do I, don't I? I just feel like you're in a time of choice, but a time of indecision too. So let's see. And that's normal with what's going on with this. Normal. But let's see what we've got here. But there's always possibilities, and especially for my Virgos. So let's see what we've got going on here. For my Virgos, I kind of feel like whenever you feel like you're stuck or in a hole, you're able to unstick, or you're able to climb out of the hole. Just kind of getting that type of vibe here. Not to say you're in a hole, but just you may feel like you are, but you're always able to work your way out, and you're okay with what it is. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. First card is the Seven of Water. Well, I talked about choices. I talked about, opportunities. So 7 is a divine number, divine umbrella, is like I like to say. Water is our Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. There's a lot of planetary motion, either going into or already in our water energies right now. In fact, it's going to be a little lopsided, I think, in another month or so. It's going to be so water energy, so emotional energy. Or maybe it's even in November, I should say, that it's going to happen. But it's really a very strong, emotional, fluid type of energy. But it's also and this could be because we're coming to the end of the month, that's where the veil is the thinnest. We have our All Hallows Eve, we have Samhain, we have All Saints Day or All Souls Day. Very, very thinning of the veil, thinning between dimensions, thinning between supernatural and natural energies. But the 7, again, very, like I said, divine umbrella. The 7 of Cups is about choices, is about making decisions, is about, again, what I'm trying to say is like, what I was saying is like there's choices, but again, sometimes the 7 of Cups can be a little overwhelming in what the choices are, okay? Because in the 7 of Cups, there's 7 cups. There's 7 opportunities. There's 7 possibilities. And there's a little bit with my Virgo that she goes or he goes, but what if I choose wrong? Well, you still, yes. And sometimes not making a choice is also a choice. Well, not making a choice is also a choice. So, it's just one of those uneasy type of energies, and just be aware of it. And when you're aware of it, you can handle it that much better. Okay. A complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Next card is awakening. So again, okay, so we have a 7, we have a 1, 2, 1, new beginning, 10, transition. 2 is choices, decisions. Which way am I going to go? 1 plus 2 is a 3. Creativity, celebration, power of 3. This is Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel is the divine messenger, brings messages. So you might be hearing some news with this. Awakening is also the Hanged Man. This is a different perspective. This is not necessarily looking at it from where you already are. Maybe it's looking at it from where you've been. Maybe it's looking from where you want to be. Sometimes, especially with this water energy, sometimes it could be that we're looking at it very emotionally and we need to be a little more intellectual. We need to be a little more objective. Sometimes we can be looking at it very earth-wise, looking at the money per se and not necessarily looking at, is this my passion? Is this what I want? So it's trying to find out what is the right way to look at something. And again, that goes back to some of those choices. But it also does say, look at it, do maybe a 360 on it. Maybe look at it from this side, that side, maybe from the back also. But it's not necessarily saying that your perspective is wrong. But it is saying, look at it from different perspectives. So whatever this is, because this is very emotional energy, it does not feel necessarily comfortable for my Virgos because it is all that water. Now, water and earth are pretty good together, but sometimes this can be more flood water. So you might need to put up a flood barrier type of energy, kind of like, nope, not letting a lot of that in, maybe letting a little bit in because you don't want to be, you don't want to go dry either. But don't know why I went down that road. But Gabriel, messenger, awakening is also that light bulb moment, is that also that aha, I see what I need to see. And if you look, he's upside down and he's looking at it. He's looking at it totally differently than what you normally would look at something. So look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill, and remember I said not making a choice is also a choice, but it's important to be yourself. Okay? And that's the thing about energies and stuff like that. Like I said, you might look at it. I've looked at something. I've had jobs that ticked off all the boxes for me, and it was just not a good fit. So kind of go with your gut a little bit too with this, but also what is it that you really want? It is a good weekend for introspection. Next card, 7 of Fire. So we got that 7 energy again. So again, and now we have that fire energy. Fire being our Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Passionate, burning, very determined energy here. Now this is that, it's kind of like once you figure this piece out, now you got to live by it. Now you got to defend it. Now you have to be who it is. Now if you so if you want to, maybe you're a CEO of a big company and you have always dreamed of, owning a bakery or starting a bake shop or starting a small business that was very creative and people don't understand that. Or maybe you've gone to college for for this wonderful degree that others would say, wow, that's a big money degree. And, and you did something totally different with your degree. It's kind of, and I'm not saying that all of that's going to happen within the weekend because it's not, but maybe you come to this point where again, looking at things a little bit differently, you're like, finally, aha moments. I see what I need to do, or I see what I want to do. Then the Seven of Fire comes along and says, have confidence in what you decide. Stop, don't, believe in what you're doing. Believe in who you are. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely, though. That's always a good, but you have that 7 energy there. So is it, 7127, 7217, or 737? Let's see now. What else do we have for our lovely Virgos here? What do we have for our lovely Virgos? Here we go. Sacrifice. So now, this is a 12. This is a 12. This is a major arcana. This is confirmation. You just have to look at things differently. The answer is there, my Virgos, for you. You're just looking at it maybe too head on. And you might need to look at it. You might need to back off a little bit. And, but the thing about, okay, but this is the awakening. This is awakening. These are both Hanged Man cards. This is look at things differently. I do love how she is, though. I do love how she's got all the murky water all around her, yet she is pristine. I like how her hands are in supplication and prayer. She's got this beautiful rainbow. She herself is, is cleansed. She herself is confidence. And I love her clouds. I love the clouds that they're actually flowers. So lots of confirmation. So whatever it is this weekend, it seems like you're going to look at things, maybe even do things a little differently. There are some choices for you, but once you make whatever your decision is, even if it's not to make a decision, stick to your guns. Stand by your beliefs. Believe in yourself, okay? The answers will come. The answers come. Okay, let's see what we have. Angels of Abundance. What do we have for my wonderful Virgos here? Angels of Abundance here. Here we go. Oops. Pay yourself first. Ooh. Okay. Make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you'll have savings you'll have savings to invest in your present and your future. Interesting. I don't know if I've seen this one before. I might have seen it once, but it does not come up a lot. Pay yourself first. Seems like there's some changes happening here for you, or there's some decisions coming for you. Anyway, let's see what crystal or energy we have here for my, okay, sure, you come out. Virgo. Water. Well, there's water energy there. Drink water, put your feet in water, ground yourself. Good energy with that. Emotional, intuition, psychic powers, healing. I like to keep my water as clear as possible. Spring water is really good. Making sure that it's clean of the chemicals. Really good stuff. Anyway, my Virgos, what did this all mean to you? Would you let me know? Now take a moment, please, to like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. Doing that really does help smaller channels, especially, like mine. So please, that's really nice of you. So thank you. As always, though, my Virgos, always know that you are loved. Stay shining and be blessed. Bye-bye.